intros.
Excellent.
All right, y'all. It's another beautiful day with Looking Through the Glass. We have JD Tremblay, and if I say that right?
That is correct, Giselle.
Okay,
Yes.
I just wanted to make sure. And JD is actually came on here to honestly teach us and talk about a little bit of disciplining. That's something I feel that is common with everybody. We don't know how to discipline ourselves, and then I do feel that we become very harsh on ourselves if we don't hit that goal in disciplining. So, but I know there's so much more that you do, JD. I remember all the conversation, but I will let you go ahead and take the floor real fast and give us a little bit more about you and our listeners.
For sure. I'm a certified naturopathic practitioner, an engineer also. And I am the director of Hungry Warrior Academy, where we help men develop more discipline and clarity in their life, spiritually and physically, and also mentally, with our DECA system, which the DECA system can be used for uh, both genders. So it's not specifically for them. It's just that our target market is men. But for today's conversation, we'll keep it neutral for everybody to understand.
Oh, that's okay.
Yeah, we can always us women can always figure out, we're intelligent enough to figure out where we can put ourselves in there.
For sure.
So, right before we dove into the recording, we were talking a little bit about how you the discipline of everything, the being making healthier habits for ourselves, and so how exactly do you go about this disciplinary? I can't find the words today.
So is it just me or the
No,
connection?
it's not just
Okay.
you, Giselle. You're really. I'm sitting here and I'm like, I was wondering if it was me going into seizure. I'm so glad you said something because I was about ready to be like, "Uh oh, guys, things aren't looking so good." Just so you're very robotic and we can't hear you.
That's probably
And
my
I know,
internet.
yeah, we have storms we live in Texas. We get pop up storms like all the time.
Yeah. All right.
Is
Well,
it
God love
better
Texas.
now?
Yeah, it's better now. It's fixed now. So the wonderful question that you had, could you please repeat it?
I will attempt to repeat it. My question was going into detail about this discipline and how do we go about it?
For sure. Great question. So the first letter of our acronym, which is our system at the Hungry Warrior Academy, is uh, D for discipline, and then E for energy regulation, C for capacity, and A for action. So how do we reframe discipline? Because again, with my over a decade of military service, when I got in at 17 years old as a child, I thought as a civilian that all military members across the board and everywhere in the world just get discipline. You get handed your boots and and then you hand them in either when you release or, well, in a casket for some unfortunate soldiers that we thank them for their service. Now, discipline isn't just given to all military members where they cut your brain and they put a chip and there's discipline going in there. And so what makes it that some military members have discipline and others don't? And that was to me so peculiar. So the way I can frame it is that the military gives you a structure, gives you a system. If you follow this structure, if you follow this system as rigorous and as dull, or for lack of a better word, not fun.
You can use any language you want. We come with warning signs, so you're good. You can use the raw language that you want to use. We're good.
Thank you, Sarah. So it's sometimes not fun to have that discipline, But how do we restructure it to say, well, it is fun and we can also have the discipline?
Yes,
And
yes,
Yeah.
the
very
way,
much.
yeah, the way we take our
Yeah.
clients is that I say, well, you find your non-negotiable. So your non-negotiable, okay, might be different for you, Sella, than it is for Giselle, and it might also be different for me. Now, if I had to ask you a question as to what is my non-negotiable, you would not be too far off from saying, well, it's definitely about fitness. But then there's people that say, well, how about I build up discipline by going to the gym? Or build up discipline by following a strict diet, or build up discipline by doing an activity that sometimes is good for others but not good for me at the moment. I'm not saying it is not good to work out or have a good I'm saying that to start, okay, to start, you could do something fun to build discipline. And that fun is essentially how God created you, and that's based on your capacity. So for me, I grew up in fitness. I love fitness. Going on long runs, swimming, biking, and running entire countries, for me, it's not even a problem. But again, I was built for this. God created me and said, well, there you go. There's a sprinkle of fitness on this guy. So for me, going in the morning within 24 hours, I will work out or I will do some form of fitness anywhere in the day. That would be my normal. But for some people, it isn't. So build the mindset and then create that discipline based on your non-negotiable. So your non-negotiable might be something healthy, as in going for dancing. That's, you just enjoy dancing, or you enjoy even cooking. Well, you might find new recipes, or you might find, so now you're building so that every single day, you know that within 24 hours, and even if I put handcuffs on you and I said, you are not, you are not going to do anything else other than this, right? What would you pick? So God created you for a reason, but sometimes what we do is we put these limitations. We say, we look at it, and I did this for a long time, by the way. I said, well, I'm not going to do triathlon. I'm not going to do what I'm good at and the capacity God gave me to do it, because it doesn't bring me money. It doesn't bring me it brings me that sense of fulfillment because I'm doing God's work
Yes.
by meditation. I can meditate at a different. It's an active form of meditation, or I can compete, or I can be around the world, or I can be on podcasts talking about fitness. So again, there's always something about fitness within my day, and the business is not created like around fitness at all. We have a side to it that is based on, well, helping men achieve a better state physically, but it's not solely based on fitness. So again, you'll find that when you're building that non-negotiable throughout the year, what happened is that it trickles down to other parts of your life. So now that you are disciplined, let's take dancing, okay, which doesn't seem like you're going to be making money or you're not going to build a business out of it, but it's your non-negotiable. You enjoy dancing, it's healthy, and that's it. But the person is not losing weight. The person is not changing their diet. What you're doing is you're rewiring your brain to have a mindset that is built on discipline. Now, once you master that one level of discipline and you have the mindset to be disciplined with one aspect of your life, it triggers your brain to say, well, if I am disciplined in this part of my life, how is it that I can't be disciplined in other parts of my life? And so now you get to add other parts of discipline. But the problem with people is that they either take on too much, and then they say, well, I'm going to change all of these things all at once, and then the entire deck of cards just falls and everything is a mess.
Ding 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 over here.
I
Accurate.
did
So
this. Oh
accurate.
yeah. So you pick something that you don't have to be good at it. Okay? You don't have to be good at dancing to pick up dancing. I didn't. I was not good at triathlon just right from the start, but
It's
I
something that
built
you
up to it.
want to do or something that you love to do instead of more than what you're good at or what you think that you're good at. It's more of
It's
something that
natural.
you love to do. The why.
It will become natural to you, Sella. It will become
Hmm.
natural. It will be like
Yeah.
for some people. One of my clients was rating, and he said, "I own multiple business. I make lots of money. Family is doing good, but I'm overwhelmed. I'm burnt out." And I said, "Well, did you start with discipline?" And he said, "I am disciplined. Did you see this body? Do you see that I have different businesses? My family is in order. Everything is strict. I have timelines." And I said, "Okay, well, how about this part of your life?" And there was a part in his life that it was lacking. And I'm not going to mention too much about this
Yeah.
person, but
Understandable.
the idea was, how about you start with the basic of building back discipline? And now the client is doing much better because now he's reading every morning. And sometimes he doesn't have time in the morning. He reads within 24 hours. There's going to be certain form of reading, whether it's an article, whether it's, and it didn't seem conducive or correlated with his other businesses, but sometimes it's just about reading, calming your brain down, and then it goes to other side. And then he builds the discipline, and then it goes to other parts of his day. So sometimes it can be as benign as reading a book, but instead of saying, "I'm on TikTok, here's my routine in the morning, you have to use mouth tape and you have to cold plunge and you have to cold plunge just your face and then you also have to eat that and eat this and eat. I'm saying, how about, and that's what we do with our clientele, we custom base everything. Why? Because even if I said I wanted to reach a certain state of mind with Giselle and Zella, it would be completely different because you have a different background, different experiences.
Mhm.
And so to start, the biggest starter, and that's again talking to a market where Dr. Jordan Peterson talks about it in his book.
I
He
love
says,
Jordan, Dr. Jordan Peterson.
oh, yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
And I agree
So,
with him on a lot of things. And from a long time ago, I'm like, see, I told you that's how it was supposed to be. But
so
yes.
in his book, he talks about making your bed, which again creates some dopamine. You get some reward. Making your bed is phenomenal as a tool to build that discipline. And this is more at the basic bare minimum, and he talks about it. This is for someone, okay, that is on his bed looking at a ceiling, complete depression, complete anxiety, can't function in life, wakes up, has difficulty even bathing himself, or
Yep.
that's for the bare bone, okay? Once you're at
Yes.
another level, okay, you can look at discipline in a way where it's fun. And that's where I come in, where how about you say, what is my non-negotiable? And my son is sleeping. For him, it's 12 hours of sleep. I mean, he's homeschooled, but for him, it's 12 hours. His sleep, we prioritize his sleep. When he
I
sleeps
was going
10
to ask
hours,
you, can you explain can you explain to us what a non-negotiable actually means? Like, can you go into depth? I think I understand, but yeah, what it is to each individual person, because it's going to be
okay.
different.
So a non-negotiable is first, it's a healthy behavior. Okay. Someone that says my non-negotiable is drinking alcohol or smoking a pack of cigarette, we might have a different discussion. Okay. So
No doubt.
I am
Yeah.
not promoting unhealthy behaviors. Okay.
Uh-huh.
We're talking about it needs to be healthy. It needs to be that it's not impeding in the life of other people. Okay. So I'm not going to go dancing on your lawn and do something illegal, doing some trespassing or right. So it doesn't impede the life of other people, and it needs to be in benefit for your own personal growth. So if you can fit those three criteria, then it becomes a non-negotiable. So again, cooking, well, or fitness. Let's go with fitness because that's mine.
Mm-hmm.
Fitness is a wonderful tool. But what if I work out too much? Is it a good tool? Well, no, it's not used properly. It would be like
Mm-hmm.
using a hammer and going to break someone's window. It's impeding on someone. It is an unhealthy behavior. So it's not fitting those criteria. But then again, using a hammer to build something, um, because that's your non-negotiable, is building something with a hammer, then again, it becomes a healthy habit to develop. And so that can be, again, I have a client that's working on cars, right? So now we had to, again, build that non-negotiable, say, well, it's healthy, it's not impeding on others. So he had to talk to his partner and say, this is my non-negotiable. So now the wife is not disturbing when he is building a car. But then again, they put strict rules on it cannot impede in the life of others. So if your wife needs something, maybe try to have an hour working on a car or 2 hours working on a car, so it's not too much, right? So there is somewhat of a balance. But again, it's custom made to that person because
Yes.
although I like to work on cars and get all greasy and I enjoy it. This is not my non-negotiable, right? Like these hands are the hands of an engineer. I'm a white collar. That's it. I gotta own what I. But I enjoy getting dirty at some times, working on the house and things. But this will be a hobby for me. Electrical work, hobby. I love electrical work. I rewired every house I've owned and I enjoy it. Not going to be an electrician. So again, that's more based on capacity. But again, what is, we'll go down to it. Okay. So we'll go down the list with discipline. I hope that
Mhm.
understand that clarifies a little bit more what is a
Oh, yeah.
non-negotiable.
Yes,
Okay.
absolutely.
Okay. So energy regulation, we can delve more into it where we have another acronym for it. But we'll go with C, which is capacity, because capacity, many people look at it as, well, can I build a car or can I walk a 5K, right? And then we look at it and say, well, I can't or I can. Well, those are just limitations that we have in our brain, right? When I did all of these ultra races, for the most part, when I did my first Ironman, I didn't think I could finish. So
Mhm.
having that belief that you can is part of it, but it's understanding what you were designed and built for by God. So God designed, the Bible says that we're the body of Christ. But again, if I tried to do exactly what Giselle is doing, I will fail. Why? Because I
Mhm.
am not her. I am not, say, this finger in the body of Christ, right? And so we're all designed to be different parts
Mhm.
of
Yes,
the body. And so instead of comparing
absolutely.
yourself to somebody else, and now you're comparing yourself to what have I been created to do? What is my capacity? So for me, it's natural. Fitness is it's natural. But again, I built that mindset and then it goes to other parts, right? Because again, it was not easy. I'm telling you, in university, staying at a computer, doing all sorts of calculations. I'm not built for that. I'm built for business. Okay, that's fine. But even certain parts of business, I'm not. But now because I have the fitness part and the non-negotiable, create some dopamine because dopamine is it's a neurotransmitter and also a hormone. And what it does is it wires your brain to have this reward system. So congratulations, I finished writing this letter to someone. Because I finished this letter, I have a reward system, and now I'm mailing it, right? So somewhat like that. So now, do I have the capacity for fitness? Yes. Some people, it's not inherent. So it's not they were just born and then all of a sudden it's fitness. For some other people, it's cooking. That's it. But now you build the mindset behind it. And then once you have the mindset of cooking every single day, and then you try new recipes and you try new, and really, if you look at it, it's cheaper to cook than it is to buy food, even if it's processed food. So really, it inevitably you're gonna be healthier within, and you won't even have to go through this form of diet and all of these restrictions. Why? Because you are cooking. Like that's your non-negotiable. You see what I mean? Like,
Mm-hmm.
so now it goes to other parts of your life where I'm going with that is now you're cooking every single day. Now you build the mindset. Well, then your brain eventually, not after one day, not after 1 week, but after a while, you build this form of discipline. And then you say, well, now I can get to other side, right? So now you'll be more prone to staying for the long course. So say in terms of your fitness goals, you say, well, now I am capable of having this discipline with fitness because I have the discipline over here. Similar for me, I have the discipline for fitness. Therefore, now I can have the discipline to run multiple companies, or I can do some mathematics with engineers, even though for me, staying at a computer, doing all these things is not inherent. For me, I was not built like that. I was not designed like this. I did become an engineer. However, it took me a lot more time than other kids that were built for this. So again, it's finding what is your capacity. And then A is action. So definitely having some action that are driven with that goal. Because, and I'm telling you, there is the majority of people on earth right now, they say they want success, but I can guarantee you, and I've seen it in all of my business, most people don't want success. We're talking about health, finances, like most people don't want it. Okay, so it's very simple tool. You find your non-negotiable based on your capacity. Forget about all the noise from all these TikTok videos and everything. But my health is not getting any better, but I'm cooking. What did JD say? I said, you're building the discipline and it's going to eventually trickle to other parts of your life. And instead of now taking on all of these blocks and then you can't carry all the groceries inside the house because you only have 2 hands and everything just falls apart and now you're defeated. You work on one thing, one task. And as Bruce Lee said, he said, I am more scared of a person that trains one punch 1,000 times rather than 1,000 punch one time. So if Bruce Lee said it, and I believe it,
What you're saying makes absolutely perfect sense and amazing sense to me.
Yes.
Especially as a person who understands inherited gifts. With me, it's animals. I've always been able to heal animals. Like it literally just comes into my brain of what to do. So I understand what you're saying on we each have our own very inherent thing that we do, but also the carrying the discipline, how you just go from one thing to another. Because I used to be very, very depressed, and to get into the shower was a feat. In order to get a shower in a shower in a day was like, wow, I'm doing amazing. So I have been there and I do, and what you're saying is absolutely how I've gotten where I am today, is just doing those little steps, adding those little things in. But I am famous for throwing in a whole bunch more, so then I fall back down.
exactly. Yeah. And then you look at the finance of animals on TikTok and all of this. If you work on animals every single day and you post it on social media, one of the highest level of reach and views on TikTok right now is, yeah, there you go, animals.
Almost, yep.
Many people just want to watch cat videos and animal videos. And so all of a sudden now we just change your finances, by the way, because you're paid on views on TikTok. So we just changed your finances, but you just did not know about it, or you did not maybe monetize it in this way. So now you're rewiring all of your brain based on one conversation on saying, well, that's my non-negotiable. I just found it. There you go. I want to work on animals. So now if you do it consistently every single day for 365 days a year, in a year, and then post a video every single day, you got 365 videos, you got content for the entire year, you build your community around it. And instead of saying, well, Giselle, is it animals? Well, no. Giselle is another thing. For you, what is it? So now you posted it, you got content for the entire year. It's just a maybe 5-10 seconds video, or even habits about how to deal with animals. And then we change your finances as a result. You got a community, so you're building oxytocin as well. And then because you're building that discipline that we just talked about, which is fun, like you love doing this, so why not? Then you can take the finances, hire people to help you with other parts of your life that you are undisciplined, which I do, by the way. Like I have 2 business coaches, and they coach me on other parts that I am undisciplined. And then they create these forms of structure. They create all of these systems in place so that I can grow and I can reach more people and I can help people achieve their success, right? Whatever their success may be. So now you're building that discipline. Well, what do you think is going to happen? You're going to hire people to help you with other parts of your discipline, part of your life, or it's just naturally going to gravitate, as you said, to other parts. And then now you are disciplined in other parts. I don't know what are the other parts that you want to work on, but we are all a work in progress. So that's why I'm saying we're all,
Yeah.
but now you have the mindset behind it. So instead, now because you have the mindset, you're more prone, as I said, to carry on for much longer than someone that just has their last beer and says, tomorrow is January 1st, I am not drinking anymore. How many people have we heard like that? Well, that's because the person does not have the mindset. He just made some weird commitment to the environment and is not going to follow through after the second day sometimes. It's like, well, I'm 24 hours sober, and then 48 hours, you're like, well, there you go. You restart at
It does.
24.
It does take, as a person, and both of us are, in recovery, but it does take a set of discipline. You need to not isolate. You need a community. You need all of these things that you're stating, structures. The building of these new structures and rewiring of the brain. It requires those things that you are talking about in order to achieve and stay clean or sober. All the things that you're talking about, it requires those things.
And it's fun. Like, it's fun. Like, I enjoy doing it. Like, I wake up in the morning. Am I disciplined? There's a lot of parts in my life where I'm completely undisciplined. That's why I hire people to help me. However, in this part of my life, which is my non-negotiable, I am disciplined. I love working out. Like, for me, fitness is natural. But instead of looking at a TikTok video and saying, oh, I need to go to the gym, and now you go to the gym, but you don't enjoy it and you don't like it,
Yeah.
what you do is your non-negotiable, and it's fun. It's amusing. So now you are doing your non-negotiable. You're building it. It takes time, by the way. It takes time. It takes effort. But you understand that JD said most people are not going to do all of the work to get to the top of their own mountain. What they want
Mm-hmm.
is either a special pill to teleport themselves on top of that mountain and not have all of the experience that it takes to reach the top, or they have some money and they just want to throw it at maybe a helicopter or an elevator to get to the top much faster. And with this, you're missing out on the crucial part of building the mindset and the resilience to get to the top of your own mountain. Because, as I said, we're all a work in a progress. And so we're all trying to achieve a certain mountain. For some people, it seems like they're trying to achieve that mountain. And some others, it seems like, well, they're trying to achieve that mountain. But to you, it's based on a perspective. So
I
your
love how individualized you make it. Like, I really, really love how individualized you make it because that is the honest truth. And a lot of people don't understand it. We are so individual that we really need to focus on what's best for us. Like, I love how you really, really do that. I mean, it's like what you said with with you don't answer your phone before 10 o'clock or whatever. Like, I'm the same way. I have to be the same way. I get my hours of sleep and my phone stays on silent. And it's on that because if it's not, it stresses me. So it stays on silent.
Yeah, we are the creator to a certain degree of our own success. I understand
Mhm.
there's trauma. I understand that there are some unfortunate situations that happen. You talked about storms and that can happen and disrupt the flow of your life or the ones around you. So I understand that. However, to a major part, we are the creator of our own success. And I mean financial success, I mean health. We are the creator of it. Now, not removing anything, like I'm a Christian guy, right? I'm not removing anything from God. But again,
Mhm.
God has his parts where he can split the sea, but you still have to walk through.
You have to have the courage, and it's definitely you have to have the courage.
Definitely, exactly. And you have to walk in faith, not in fear. And so we all
Yes.
have, all of us, we all have those limiting beliefs and these fear that have been ingrained in us or that we have accepted because
Now,
again, we are beings of survival. That's how we're built. We're not built to thrive and succeed. We're built for survival. And so we interact with our surrounding based on survival, and we have to learn how to live and thrive. This is a learned
yes,
behavior, but the inherent part is survival. Just like for my kid, I never taught my kid how to lie,
but they do it.
but he understands there's consequences, and dad is not going to be happy, and he's going to be angry if he tells him this, so therefore he's going to lie. Well, that's a survival mechanism that is
Yep.
inherent, and you just get to again live this behavior as a result of these experiences. And so it's up to us to rewire our mind, change that paradigm or these shift in our mind that we have a pathway and we say no, no more, enough is enough. Let's start with the basic. Let's not go with too much noise. Let's go back to the basic. What are the basic? The basic are let's have fun by building discipline. All right, how do we do that? That's my non-negotiable. I will do it, and I will make a commitment daily to follow through on my commitment. To again, God designed you for a purpose. So what you're doing and what you're telling me, and not you personally, but what other people are telling me is they don't want to be successful. They don't want to worship God in the way that they were created to. And that means they're not reaching their peak performance. So when we're talking about high achiever and peak performance, what is your peak performance? How are you a high achiever in your life? So a high achiever for your case, Sella, would be to work on animals because that's your non-negotiable for 365 days. And at that point, yes, you would be considered a high achiever. You would be considered at your peak performance because that's how God created you. Is it the same for me? No, I'm allergic to cats and dogs. So I'd go to your farm and just start sneezing. So
You
not
would
good
die in
for
my
you.
house.
I really do enjoy the way you put it because just recently I've been working with a dietitian to make healthier habits for me. And and we started with one thing, and it was me going on walks, but then I ended up having a hurt hip and I'm in the process of getting that fixed. So because I pushed myself, I was like, you know what? I'm determined. I'm gonna push myself. And then I overdid it. And here's the consequences. So we're like, let's find something else to focus on. And I noticed I don't eat all day long. I will starve myself until it's dinner time. And even sometimes I will eat a little bit and then that's it. That's not healthy for me. That is not good for my body. So she gave me an idea of setting an alarm and, you know, however long I want to help me remind me you need to eat and drink water. And, you know, and since I started doing that, it's been about a week and a half. I'm still working on it, still processing, but I'm doing better and I'm retraining my body and my mind. Hey, you need to eat by this time. So by 10 a.m., I'm eating breakfast, you know, and that's late for some people, but for me, that's my start of my day.
Yep.
And seeing that, I'm seeing the difference. I'm seeing the new rewiring of myself, and
You got
it's
robotic again.
honestly, I can't, I don't know what to tell you.
Now you're fine again.
It's everybody else's home but me. Um, but having that rewiring of the brain, and I'm still working on it, of course. It's only been a week and a half, and I'm still having, you know, slack in areas, but having that alarm go off for me and go, okay, I need to eat something, or I'm hungry, I need to eat something. Okay, I need to drink water. That right there has helped me. I love food,
Yep.
but it sounds weird that I don't eat, right? But no, I like how you're explaining it, and I'm looking back into my life and seeing where I started creating that discipline in one area and then
Hmm.
achieving it to other areas of my life. And I really appreciate that because you're making me go, okay, I do have some discipline,
Yeah.
Right? I'm doing the same thing because I think my non-negotiable used to be animals, but now it's actually the podcast. Like even
Yeah.
when the doctors said 6 to 8 weeks off, I was like, that's not happening. There's no way. So like my non-negotiable is the podcast. Like there's that flat out looking through the glasses. Both are non-negotiables because we created it for us and to help us, and that is our thing, I think. So animals, it used to be before I hit my head and had seizures, my capacity of being able to take care of animals has diminished since having seizures. So now God gave me looking through the glass.
Yeah, but sometimes it can be combined, right? I'm thinking about like I said, taking videos of cats, right?
Oh yeah, on our YouTube and stuff like that, there's all
Yeah,
kinds of animal videos.
yeah.
Tons of
There
animal
you go. And
videos.
sometimes it's not just taking care of them, as in you are physically a veterinarian and you are curing them of certain diseases or worms. What you're doing is there are people, see, for us, we have a philanthropic way where our company is in 5 different countries, providing for thousands of children, as we discussed, and so I'm not sometimes directly helping the children. The children are part of, and fitness is also part of our mentorship, and however, it's part of my non-negotiable, right? So fitness is also part of this, and then I always circle around it. So it can be in all aspect, right? That's what I mean by this, right? So it can be still that it's on your YouTube or other parts, and that
Hmm.
you're not forgetting it, that you're not forgetting yourself because again you have a medical condition, because again that becomes a limitation. And I understand
Yes.
the medical side, so I'm not against that side. Like I understand there's a limitation, right? If someone has chopped legs, I can't just say, well, do this because or do the same thing as another
But
person.
it
So I
doesn't mean that
understand
they
the,
can't run a marathon eventually.
but there's a
And
exactly, and there's a mental challenge where there is a mental belief, and it's the mental belief that you can't achieve it or you can't merge the two together to
mhm.
to join on your non-negotiable and build that discipline. There was a client one time that again was not going to name any name or say any condition because he's quite famous. Maybe people would know him, but the person had a condition, okay, and but he said, well, now I can't do anything that is physically demanding, and so eventually what we did was work together to change those limiting beliefs, because very often those limiting beliefs are just stopping us from achieving what the capacity was in the first place. And eventually that guy went back to doing some types of physical events and endurance events, because again, that's his was about fitness as well. And so we really connected, and we just changed those limiting beliefs to know, no, it's not because I am this way right now that I can't again build up to it.
Exactly. What I am today, it does not mean I cannot or what I can do today, or what I'm limited on today does not mean that I cannot work on that and no longer be limited in it, or raise the bar, keep raising the bar.
We have proof of that. On our podcast, we've had several people who have accomplished many things and never let their um never let anything
Disabilities.
stop them. Yeah,
Yeah.
disabilities. Thank you. I couldn't find the word for the life of me.
Yeah,
Disabilities
disabilities.
stop
Yeah.
them. We've had a man that was shot in the back of the head and was wheelchaired, and he is now he does fitness, owns his own gym, and does all of that himself. We've had
Hmm.
somebody who was paraplegic from the neck down, and became a lawyer and has done all kinds of things. We have so honestly, what you're speaking is completely true. We have proof of it on several different people. It doesn't limit you.
Yeah, exactly. And so that's how I would again define discipline in your life, so that, well, you can make it fun, right? You're building
Yeah.
discipline and it's
Yeah.
fun, and you're blocking out all the noise. You're making it fun, and then it goes to other. It won't happen overnight. It will happen after a while. It will seem like my client who is reading. It doesn't seem like it's connected to the business, but eventually it merges to other parts of the business, and that discipline translate to other parts where now,
Of the
well,
price.
yeah, he wants to go to the gym, or he wants to eat healthy, or because it is a shift in mindset, and he's more
Hmm.
prone to continue on his journey over here, where over here it's difficult for him. Over here, fitness is difficult for him. But because he built that resilience and that discipline over here, which is fun, and he understands that it's fun, then he goes to other parts of his life, and then he builds that discipline. And then eventually you become disciplined in more areas. I'm not saying you will be disciplined in all areas, okay? I'm just saying that you will be more disciplined in other areas of your life.
How it
But,
trickles. There's a trickle effect.
Definitely. Yep.
but if we have people, any listeners that want to get a hold of you or want to basically learn more, is there anywhere that they can contact or find you? Any social media?
For sure. We only have one website, hungrywarrioracademy.com. We don't work with the fittest people, the smartest, the most knowledgeable, and the ones that have the most money. What we work on is we work with people, okay, that want to achieve that success, that have the desire to get results, because we're able to deliver the results. We know it. But as I said, I can't do any miracles. I leave those to Jesus.
Yeah, right.
The people have to walk the walk. That's it, right?
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
those are the
No, you're
people.
right.
Yep.
Yeah, you're
Yeah,
100% right. You got to walk the walk, because if it's in the journey, it is in the journey that you learn what you're supposed to learn.
Exactly. Yeah, you're right. So that those are the people that we work with, and then We don't claim to be the smartest and the ones with the most money, but we are growing, and then we want to partner and collaborate with these people. If we're not the right fit, usually we just refer those people to other, and we have a list of providers where we help other providers, because at the end of the day, we just want people to reach their own success. And if it's not going to be with us, then it's going to be with somebody else, and that's fine, right?
Yeah. Hmm. Absolutely. Absolutely. God's going to put people where they need to belong, you know? Absolutely. We really appreciate this conversation. I love it. I loved it. It was like, it made me feel better because it's like, okay, I am doing things right, you know? Like, you
Yeah,
know,
definitely.
because
Right now, it's about the A of the DECA system, which is action. So, will there be action for all the listeners? That's up to you. And now that's between you and God. Will there be any action to find your non negotiable and make it a commitment to be at your full potential that God created you, so that you can give the best of you to the people around you? Because you are hurting everybody around you by not being your best self.
absolutely. Absolutely. I love it. I'm still learning how to be my best. That's for sure.
We're all a work in progress, so that's good. We're
Yeah.
learning.
Yeah.
I do want
Well,
to ask, you said something about energy regulation. So
mm,
when it
yes.
that's something I think a lot of people need help with. I know I need help with.
Yeah.
How would you go about that?
So we use an acronym called BRAIN. And before I go into the letters, the energy regulation becomes once you have your non-negotiable, your energy regulation needs to be in line with that non-negotiable, essentially. Okay, so and I'll talk about it. Let's say for me, I go work out. Well, my energy level, like I need to eat a certain types of carbs before I go and train, so that my body can use it and I can replenish my glycogen level. So essentially, that's the idea. The concept behind it is um, eat for a purpose. That's pretty much it, right? Or what is that energy regulation? So the BRAIN acronym is B is for blood chemistry, R is recovery, A is attention, I is inflammation, and N is nervous system. So B for blood chemistry, we're talking not just in terms of uh, having the blood flow into your veins, and we're talking about glucose swings. We're talking about hydration, electrolytes, or inflammation. We're like many people are just not knowledgeable about it. Like these are not taught in schools, and even doctors are taught. Well, there's two classes in medical school where you are taught about nutrition, and so you're taught about blood, and you're taught about how to analyze blood, and so we'll leave the medical side to it. But glucose swings, for example, many people wake up in the morning, and cortisol levels high, which is your stress hormone, and that's just normal across the board. The difference with, say, a person that is trained or has trained himself or herself to overcome certain challenges that are stressful in their life, say a former Navy SEAL, right? That guy is able to decrease his cortisol level much faster than, say, a person like me, even though I am an athlete. Okay, and that's just the stress hormone. So it's usually high at the morning, and then you learn to decrease it, and over time, over the day, it decreases. Okay, so let's say that you are on a journey, and that's for a lot of people, by the way. They're on a journey to health, and then they watch a TikTok video, and they have this influencer that is either going to the gym right after, or that is going on the beach. Which, if you're going on the beach, your body naturally is going to burn more calories because of the radiation of the sun, and you are all because of your temperature regulation, and so, or he's going to work out. So now you think, well, I should drink a shake in the morning. So now you wake up, you make yourself a shake in the morning. And you put some strawberries and some bananas, and then you want to go healthy. So you put some maple or maybe some honey, and then you see that it's all good on paper, but it's not at the right time. So we're talking about glucose swings, right? Which is within the blood chemistry still. Well, when we look at just this factor, what you just did, okay, if you're not going to use that energy, is you gave a lot of quick, fast energy to use for your system, which might be good for that influencer because he's going to work out right after, or he's going to go to the beach, so therefore he's burning that calorie. So the way you look at carbs is carbs, you eat them because you're going to spend them like this.
Mhm.
Carbs, you go. So let's say you drink a shake, but then you're stuck in traffic. Well, cortisol levels high in the morning. You drink your nice smoothie and your nice shake that seems healthy. Insulin levels high. What do you think is going to happen? Your system has this glucose swing where you're now in, because it's fructose, you're now in a state of awareness, where you're now in a state of survival automatically. Okay? Then you're in traffic. It just takes one person to make you snap like this, and you're thinking, well, why did I snap? Why did I snap from against my kid when he didn't do anything? I'm just trying to diet. Well, how about you think about eating fat and protein in the morning if you're not going to work out in the morning? You see, so now the body is going to readjust to, and so now you'll be less cranky. Or if, let's say, and we're talking about anyway, we're talking about the blood chemistry, right? One
Yeah,
other
no, you're
thing for
actually helping me quite a bit because I do protein shakes every freaking morning. So I'm listening to this because I don't eat. I don't eat, and I had gastro surgery, which was the biggest mistake to me in my own my own personal story there. If I would have known then what I know now, I would have never done it. Um, but I do protein shakes because I can't get food in me. So I do, I put like the oils and the different things, supplements and stuff like that into my protein shakes because of the gastro. But so you're really talking to me because I do put my strawberries and my cherries in there and stuff like that.
yeah,
So that
so
you
you're
really,
looking at, let's say, the blood. The blood is life. So you're just
yes.
regulating your blood. You're thinking, well, I'm a woman. I get my period once a month, and I understand that I'm losing a lot of blood. Well, so how can you regulate it? So you're still regulating energy. It's just that now you're going to be more cranky. Well, how can you regulate it? Well, you're going to lose some blood. So maybe adding some iron right before you understand that your cycle is going to be there. So you
Yeah, that's
add
what I
some
do.
iron food right before that week or the day before that cycle starts, which is generally speaking the highest of flow, right?
Hmm.
Then you're taking in the iron, so then you'll be less cranky. Right? Same idea for the person who's taking in sugar at the wrong time. Now, am I eating sugar? Yes. I had 60 grams of carbs, so sugar, like pure sugar, by the way, not refined sugar, but sugar as in
Yeah.
like gels in the like this morning. But I went for a workout immediately after, so it's quick energy, but I'm using that energy. And then I have sodium? Well, yes, I did because I have 1,000 milligrams of sodium with some capsules. Now, am I saying don't have sodium or have sugar? That's not what I'm saying. What I'm saying is very simple. If you sweat, sodium. If you work out, carbs. But if you're not going for a walk, or if you're not going for some type of workout, then you decrease the amount of carbs because it's quick energy. And you just decrease carbs. That's it. That's all. And then
Mm.
you'll be more full if you eat, say, protein and fat in the morning, not because you're not working out. Like I do eat carbs in the morning, but I'm not saying this is a and it's removing yourself from this cookie cutter of saying, okay, JD eats carbs, JD eats salt, therefore Giselle needs to eat salt in the morning. And so, no, what I'm saying is make it for yourself. And so I'm just giving you, here's the facts and here's the symptoms. If you don't follow it, you'll be more cranky. Why? Because I am. Do you know how I look when I haven't eaten in a couple of sometimes days where of course I'm going to be cranky. Or what if
Yeah.
I put the wrong fuel at the wrong time? I'm going to be cranky. I'm going to have these symptoms, the exact same symptoms that you would live, but at a different level. So it's about making it
Mhm.
custom made just for you. And I don't get periods. I'm a guy. So, but I talked about periods. Why? Because, well, I'm talking to two females. So maybe it's just a way of monitoring your energy regulation, right? So now you're less cranky on your period. Why? Because you're adding certain iron
Iron.
food right before your cycle, right? So that's just, and then now you have more energy. Well, how? And the key part, okay, that I want to make sure that everybody understands is what are you going to do with that energy? Okay, if all of a sudden, and we talked about this before the podcast, right? There are some people that have the perfect diet and everything is fine, but then they're not using their energy properly. So use your energy for your non-negotiable, building that discipline, and then it just, there you go, moves the wheel forward and gets some momentum, right? That's what I'm talking about. So that's why we have the E as energy regulation, and then we just went through again just the blood part, and we can go through again all of them, or we can get to even hydration. Hydration is anyway, we can go through each one of
Oh
them
yeah,
and
no,
break.
we would love it. I love how we love the natural ways, and we completely understand that we're not being taught everything correctly. We completely understand that we're not being taught everything correctly when it comes to our health here. Um, especially when it's as a person who had a traumatic brain injury and they just threw pharmaceuticals at me. That was the last thing on earth my brain needed. My brain was trying to figure itself back out, but that we could have that on a totally different conversation on that alone.
Yeah.
Thank you, JD, for coming on here and explaining all of this to us. And I know this is going to help not only us but several other people out there that just needed kind of that validation to start in one. It just start with one step and then work around. I really liked how you explained it. And if you can send me an email with all your socials, I can put it on in the footnotes or on that website. And I would greatly appreciate it. Um, any mom, my brain.
You would like to contact us and you can remain anonymous. Just because your name isn't attached to a story doesn't mean your story isn't going to impact others. You can reach us at 12 looking through THRU 34 theglass@gmail.com, or you can reach out to us on our Instagram, Facebook, TikTok, and all the other socials. We appreciate you for looking into the glass. Till next time.